But in that, so it's, there's not really a consistent depiction of him, but just that he is often symbolized by a starburst and with the blonde hair and just the androgyny of this figure. I mean, it's a pretty safe bet that this is Corlon. So.
I told you.
Okay. Is it tacky to ask what the emeralds look like they're worth? I think it might be tacky.
You can ask. You can ask anything.
Yeah, that would be super out of character.
No, but it wouldn't be out of character for...
Estimated in minutes how long it would take to take all that.
So is there anything on this mural or anything that Bobby recognizes from what he said?
Roll from what he said, especially because Corlon is the father of all the elven gods, as it were. You two immediately recognize that his description of the area does appear to be accurate. This does now strike you as a temple. This, for you two, the starburst symbol is familiar. So I mean, it all adds up. But there isn't anything unusual about it, or that stands out as odd in any way, exceptional. Other than it's a really well done mosaic. When this was made, a lot of time was put into the construction of this temple, despite the fact that it is kind of in disrepair now.
Bobby will adamantly protest any idea of taking anything from the temple.
Protest noted.
I mean,
He will physically protest anything taken from the temple.
why is Davi convulsing? I'm confused.
This is a temple of their god. Leave it alone.
I
I mean, they don't seem to care about it.
Yeah, they don't seem to care too much about it.
That doesn't mean that it shouldn't be respected.
well,
On the other hand, we can do nothing with these emeralds because dumb people in the town can't charge for anything. Some memories and flowers and good thoughts and well wishes.
it is kind of odd that a temple to Corlon is kind of abandoned.
Temple to all the gods, it said. All the real gods.
How many hallways are there?
Shh, a lot.
How many
Well over
football
a dozen.
fields worth?
For the kids, I don't know how many children Coralon had, but
Yeah, there are dozens.
There's an active fellow.
There's a lot. It appears to be following Davi's with the guy's theory. It appears that the elven pantheon is large.
I would assume that each one of these leads to a different temple for each god.
Does the Elven Pantheon have one for massive wealth?
No,
maybe.
he has a bunch of children. There's no massive wealth involved in that.
Clearly.
There's in the hallways. Are they marked at all? Is there any kind of symbol? Or...
There are larger hallways and smaller hallways.
But there's no markings on the
Not heading into them. Cog, roll a perception check for me though. Yes.
This is it.
Find them with a large and a small hallway, West.
Yeah. How many
So
football fields
some
wide?
of them are like 20 feet high. Some of them are more like 11 feet high. So double.
that's
They
decent.
do stand out. Cog, you do notice though that each of these hallways isn't very long. Gosh darn it, I hate distance. It would be pretty easy. And at the end of each of them,
How many squares would they be?
How many
for the character?
squares? Oh, let's say it's 20 feet long. Is that how long is
That's
that?
4 squares.
I don't know. Well, okay, that's not that long. Longer than that. It's easy to walk down. Listen,
Your
You
room
can-
is probably 15.
I bet
Let's-
you struggles with this really helps Keg in other aspects of life. 10 inches for sure.
so let's say it's like 30 to 40 feet long. Like you
Fantastic bird.
Can see, you can see at the end the couple that you look down, Cog.
It's at least 2 football fields long.
You kind of lean down, Cog. You look down one of the large ones. You look down one of the small ones, and you can see a statue of something. Different statues at the end of each of these.
Oh, So we can kind of. I'm gonna make Cass a list out the entire Elven Pantheon. You ready for this shit?
You could do the Tour de Pantheon if you wanted.
Okay. Oh shit, what's her name? Fuck. I would like to pick one at random.
Dobby will search them to try to see if she can find the one that the redheaded dwarf guy told her to find.
Okay, roll an investigation check for me.
I will see if I can find any gemstones that I'm not
Davi.
Oh man, I'm on a roll.
You go down a couple of them. And then you come to this one, and it is a smaller. It is one of the smaller hallways. You see different, some that are these celadron portrayed with wings, some that are cradling different things. It is just tons of them, and very typical, elegant temple kind of poses. And then finally you come to this one where there is this female elf. She actually has her head thrown back in just this wide laughter and her arms extended. She looks just like she is just completely overcome with like joy. She has a number of coins that are actually kind of falling from her palm, that are like stone coins that are in her palm, and like a small collection of them at her feet. And on her shoulder is actually perched this fairy dragon. At the foot, she's standing on a pedestal, and on it is carved some words in Sylvan. And there's something about her that strikes you.
She knows that Leo speaks Sylvan, right?
I think so.
I hope so. I hope she knows that, because Leo doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know where she got that idea.
I was gonna say Leo and Kega, right? Speak Sylvan.
No.
No?
She
Just Cog.
Does anybody in our group
Just Cog.
She also
go and find Cag and ask him to come with her?
has on her belt a compass that is hanging, which is one of the reasons why you're like, this is worth pursuing. So Dobby goes to find you.
The first thing she's gonna do is put some coins in with the others in the palm.
Okay. Gag.
And then she's gonna go find Cag.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
For just a minute.
I absolutely can. What have you found?
Read something
Okay.
for me.
So Gag,
Take it back.
you go over and you find this statue of this, just completely joyous Celadron woman. And it actually reads on the plaque, it reads the name Avashel, which I will type.
Do I know this name?
Roll a religion check.
Fuck.
Can I help him?
Sure, you can roll with advantage.
I am going to say the name out loud.
Let me double check something, because Forgotten Realms lore is awesome. Just kidding, it's not. Okay, so
Well, that
you've
was hot
never
garbage.
encountered this. In fact, you're like, this is, I don't know, like you have literally never heard this name before. To the point that you're a little dubious.
So describe it.
It has, the statue is wearing a compass on their hip. It's like got one hip popped out, and it is obviously a prominent feature of this individual. So, Cog, there is more on the plaque under the name.
I would like to read it all.
Okay, so underneath the plaque, it reads, Mistress of Wit, Bringer of Chaos, Luck, and Trickery, the Traveler.
I'm gonna pause before I say the Traveler.
When he pauses and then he finally says it, Dobby will just go.
So I think this is who you're looking for, but I don't know that this is a real thing.
Well, clearly it's a real
If
thing.
you would, please.
What's that?
So just give me some time if you would, please.
Absolutely.
Dobby is actually gonna just get on her knees in front of this statue.
Whoa, easy. Listen. We're not really at that stage in the relationship.
In front of the statue.
And really, the height difference is probably enough that...
Talking
get another whack across
So, Dobby kneels down.
She's just gonna spend a little time in prayer
Okay.
to Martha Morduin and the Traveler.
And as you pray, Dobby, nothing happens, but you can feel a hand on your shoulder. Just this kind of like steady weight, and you know you're onto something.
Is it me?
No, it's not you.
That's enough for Dobby. She'll just quietly continue. She'll just say her mind.
Okay. So, what does everybody else do?
Basically, the history of everything that's happened and all that this led to this and where we're at.
So Dobby is there for 3 hours.
Here's what's happened.
Fearless is going to stand impatiently at the entrance to this.
So,
For the others, Dobby doesn't care. She found what she was looking for.
what are the rest of you doing? Cog, what are you doing?
Not abandoning Dobby, so
I am going to look through the deities to see if I can find Solinor's, if there's a shrine to Solinor.
Solinor. Okay. You head through, and sure enough, actually in one of the larger halls, you come across a shrine to Solinor.
Okay.
Though as you walk around and you continue to look through Cog, you do notice something else. Down some of these halls, the pedestals are empty.
What are the names of the ones that are empty?
You go over and you try to peek, and they have been all the names, all the descriptions have been scratched off.
What the fuck? Guys.
that's temple desecration.
Hold on, I'm trying to take notes. Is there anything... I would like to investigate the room
Okay.
to see if there's any kind of indication of what they used to scratch out the tablet, if the statues were destroyed or toppled over and
Okay.
hauled off, that sort of thing.
Roll an investigation check for me.
I get to do with advantage because that random ass magical item I have. Fuck! Okay, it's not bad.
Okay. So as you go and you look around,
Messed up, y'all.
the removal of whatever statues were on the scratching off of the inscription has been very intentional and very thorough. This doesn't look like somebody came through and just ransacked. It was very cleanly done. You do find there are some bits of rubble in different parts of the corner, like one that looks like a pinky, but I mean, this was thorough. It was not hastily done, and there aren't a lot of clues left. You do notice though that the place where the empty pedestals are, there is one large one where it is gone, and the rest are smaller, and they are all kind of clustered together so like if you come in through the main door that leads to the outside, they're all straight across, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like if you had come into the
They're
entrance
grouped
and just
together?
Yes, there are some that have like a couple of smaller ones in between, but they're for the most part they're all in that section of the room. And the big one that is missing, the only one that is a large hall that is missing, is straight across from the entrance.
Is there anything in the history of the Pantheon that I might know that would indicate this? Like, is there like some story that I don't know, like? High five.
What? High five?
I don't know.
Is everything written in Sylvan in here?
Yes,
Yes.
all of the plaques are in Sylvan.
Has Tank checked out every one of them?
I don't think so.
I mean, I was wandering around trying to find Zolinar, so.
Well, I think I already know the answer to this, but can you look for one for Roshni?
What?
A Roshni? You know the mirror that we have?
Yeah.
Is this a Roshni's mirror? I suspect her name and her statue are gone.
Is
But
Russian supposed to be a deity? I thought it was just a person.
We have no idea.
so in Jacobus's reading, there was reference to very little damnation in the Elven pantheon, except for something that would be referred to as a betrayal befitting of a Roshni. I still have no idea who she is, but I suspect that she is a god that betrayed Coraline.
Interesting. Okay. So I would like to check down all the hallways to see if there is an Arashni.
All right, so you go down the hallways one by one. There are a ton of them. You find out that there are gods you've never even heard of. Like, you find out, like, there's, like, a couple of names that you do recognize is, like, Cheverash, that Chance had said that he worships. You find out that he is actually, not Chance, Yernan. He is actually known as the Black Archer and hates Drow. You come across, of course, Sahanin and all of these different ones. But as you finish up the rounds, there is no sign of Arashni.
So I think you might have it, Jacobus.
We need to talk. Well, I'm
Wait,
not there.
is there no sign of one of the Archni, or is one missing?
There's no sign of him. There's no...
All the hallways have something in them.
There are some hallways where at the end there is a pedestal where the statue has been removed and the plaque has been just like thoroughly chiseled out.
Dobby's over there. I really have no idea why Mark wanted me to I'm here. I am going to do exactly what I was asking. I will help you with whatever you need.
Somewhere the god's like, fuck, just please. Someone take her out of this place. I'm writing a strongly worded letter to this dwarven god.
A strongly worded letter.
Yeah, they're out there exploring. I hear Dobby in the background just talking.
Jesus. I can't, y'all.
Okay. So...
In
Okay.
all, Cog, you find 8 empty hallways.
8 empty hallways.
Only
we
one
should
is
probably
large.
write that down.
We made a typo error. We have cookies in here, so we can't have a
I think you had enough cookies.
I need a cookie.
There is no such thing as enough cookies, I'm just saying.
Really? Is there ever enough? I already told him. I said we were gonna freeze part of the dough. And then we made them. I'm like, I mean, you're so light. You're just kind of just light and lemony, and
Yeah,
it's like, man, I can put this in the plate.
yep.
I don't need to.
I definitely know that feeling.
Alright, so before we go on too far, I'd like to spend some time with Selenor.
Okay.
Just kind of quietly while I'm mentally blocking out Dobby's echoes.
So Cog heads over to the statue of Solinar, which you guys, seeing him head down that way, he is definitely portrayed as a wild elf. He's got leaves and sticks in his hair. He's kind of crouched as though he's hunting.
Wait, who is this?
Solinar.
Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't know if you were transitioning to
No.
someone else.
He's got like his hand back ready to pull a bow. Very wild elf and, rangery. So.
I thought Kai was protesting, like, that's not him. What?
This is bullshit! No, it's like, you're describing something that I should know. I should be listening to this. I was going to take notes.
Okay. So, anybody else?
No, I'm just going to stick. I'm just going to be hanging out.
Are there any mushrooms so that Leo can have this moment?
No mushrooms.
I don't
And actually, Kai, Davi's voice isn't bothering you because it's not echoing.
Did I prepare detect magic? Am I that smart? Probably not. I have dispel magic.
Dispel the temple. Good idea.
Let's see
Falls on our head. Alright.
if there's anyone else that stand out to you guys.
Okay. So after I finish that up, I'm gonna go back out to where Jacobus and Leo and Earlith are because I know Davi's probably like got her bedroll and like set up a tea party. So couple things. One, how long have we known that Arashni is possibly a deity?
I've suspected it for a while.
Okay.
He doesn't like to share with the class.
Well, that's alright. Given our...
Who was Arashni again? I'm sorry.
You've missed it. You were praying.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember what that name was.
That's the mirror that we have.
It
That-
was
Name
on
on the
the
mirror.
tower
Oh, okay.
that the orcs had specifically brought to Inyar for some reason.
So, we now have an object that possibly belonged to a god
Where's that right now?
floating around in the bag of holding, smashing up against everything else in there,
Ever encountered?
With Davi by the statue.
including the talking frog, and
I forgot about the frog.
it's on the list. We still have it.
Davi's pulling his out. Traveler.
Oh my god.
I found this.
Technically, I think Jacobus took the mirror. I don't
That's
remember.
what I was trying to...
Oh, really?
I don't
I'm checking our inventory.
go with whatever.
Did we not write the thing on here?
I don't think we did.
Did we
So-
leave it?
Eurolith, I have a question for you. When Davi was praying, were you waiting in the hall with her, or were you in like the main room?
Just in the entrance there. Just
Okay.
kind of not in the main room, but kind of not in that little temple either.
Okay.
Just kind of
So as Davi went to leave then, and she heads, and you turn to follow her out, you hear this kind of deep but charming laughter, just a chuckle coming from the end of the hall where Davi left.
okay. Do I tell Dobby that? Did you hear that?
For what?
Did Dobby hear it? Dobby didn't hear it, huh?
Our creature's just broken.
I just heard somebody laugh.
Oh, that was probably the traveler. She's really nice.
How do you know? Exactly. I mean,
She just listened to me talk for a while.
I mean, really, she
She
didn't exactly have a choice.
She was nice. I don't know. I liked her.
Was she like trying to like take your shoulders and like press in, or like was it one of those like?
Okay, yeah. Dottie will walk over, and as short as she is, she'll be, it's okay.
Kag will start trying to
Put her
like
on his shoulder in a comfortable
like-
way.
trying to like he'll try to like butt out hug her as she does whatever she's doing.
She'll hug him. It's okay.
Like awkwardly like pat her. He's not really sure what's going on or why we're hugging, but he's doing it.
hey,
Dwarves are very friendly people.
I did what my God wanted me to do. I feel good about it.
God of hugs as well, I see.
That would be a really good God. But I don't. That's not what mine is. But for travel.
Okay. So, back to the mirror, which I guess we've decided Jacobus has.
yeah. I think he did take it.
we haven't really given it much thought, but we possibly have a god's mirror that the orcs managed to grab from somewhere, which we haven't really figured out where that is. And do we know anything about this thing? Should we like investigate it? Because we kind of grabbed it and ran.
We probably should, but I think maybe we go back to town and check with the Mage's Tower and see if they have any information.
And I'm thinking maybe we need to, given all that you guys have said, maybe we need to talk to somebody who is like a priest, like Dobby, but maybe not like Dobby.
Burn.
Maybe we need to have somebody check out the murder orb we have floating in our hole here that makes you talk to demon lords.
Oh yeah, the murder orb. I forgot about that.
It's easy to forget.
Let's not forget we have a foldable boat too.
Oh my gosh, we have so many cool things in there.
Oh, by the way, there's the traveler, the carriage
Ferry.
sitting out front to take us back.
What?
Yeah, that'll take us straight to town. The ferry.
There's a ferry outside?
Yes.
I told you that. I told you guys everything when I walked up about
Yeah.
talking to the guy, and his name is starts with an R.
Roll up.
So,
Roland, thank you.
what kind of ferry is this? Is this like...
Sorry,
It's a
I like
fairy.
to play a character that is much better memory than I am.
Not
That's okay. Listen, my notes are intense. I feel you. Like, Kag's like, who's that? I'm like,
Yes.
insisting on.
Yes.
It's not a ferry as in a person of Fey descent. It is a ferry as in a boat that takes you across water.
Ah,
RRY.
thank you for that.
Back in town.
You're
Well,
welcome.
we have a bunch.
Apparently, the admiral sent in kind of one of those crap duty things that he did just to piss this guy off.
Ew. And then I'm gonna turn and stare at Sesneg.
not pretty.
Here we are. We can make his job worthwhile, and maybe.
And I'm gonna put a hand on Sesneg's shoulder and just kind of offer him that moment of solidarity.
Not says Nick Rafferty.
Is it Rafferty?
Yeah, his name is Rafferty.
Oh,
Sesneg
fuck.
was was
That's right, we murdered Sesneg.
the character that's living in the spring court now.
We drowned Cessna in
Yeah.
His nickname is Cessna.
Yeah.
New Sesneg.
Cessna's a title, it's not a name.
We don't know why,
You're the Sesneg of the party. We'll see a different one in 2 levels.
Okay, I think we're done here though, so we probably should head to
Okay.
And the ferry
What type of ferry?
that is guiding the ferry.
Is it like a wings ferry or like a cloven hoof ferry? Like,
If we walk out there, we will know ourselves.
That is
So-
exactly right.
You guys head out, and you find the same Eldrin man, shirtless, got a few scales.
Direction to go?
No, there is the way out of the tower, left into the big circle with all the small hallways, and right that heads out. That appears to be the end of it.
I think that was a fragment. I don't understand what's going on.
Dobby tapped
But
Kag and said, "It's really cute. You should give it a shot."
But Kag, as you look at this individual who has just this really striking red hair and a good beard, I mean, he is a good looking guy. He reminds you of somebody else that you've seen that you can't quite place it.
It's like a fucking mirror, except the mirror is green.
He's a good looking guy, Kag. I mean, you do have to agree with Dobby on that. He's a good looking guy. Not saying that you swing that way, but I mean, anybody can
I just made a
appreciate.
thing pop up on my screen. I have no idea
Okay,
what's going on.
stop it. Not saying that that's necessarily the way you swing, but I mean, anybody can appreciate beauty. And I
Hold
mean,
on,
he's
hold
got-
on. We're doing a side by side.
have to double click it.
My
If
lord.
you look at my stream, you will see it's the same fucking person.
I
It's like
can't.
it looks a lot like Cat.
He looks a lot like Cat.
Yes.
Did you?
Mostly because
Chat?
I don't know. I think so.
You should ask him.
He's even got like the same chest hair pattern.
He's cute like you.
I know. It's amazing.
Did he not let out? Did he not get what he
are
needed?
you linking your side by side?
He just wanted to sit and whine.
You sure he didn't eat water?
I don't know.
I'll be right back. I have to protect him.
Absolutely.
He's very sad about something.
No, sheep.
You should hand feed him.
Yeah. My fist.
Don't be ugly.
So, as you guys head back
I'm
out.
gonna take a few moments to hit on Rollum. Or...
Nah. It'd be weird. It'd be like dating myself.
And
The
again,
kid.
I'm gonna
It's
say
like
that
exactly
sort
like
of
our.
fits exactly with your personality. I am still struggling to understand how these sound ugly.
Holy shit, have color on this picture now.
You're welcome.
Finally! Did you fix it?
I think it's... Is it because I drew on this, or is it because you actually see...
I think so.
I don't get roll 20.
Can you not see that, Castor?
I mean, I can see it.
Oh, weird.
I don't get roll 20. Anyway.
I love you too, Chad.
So.
So well, Scarecrow. Are you in a dress and a hoodie?
Is it cold? I mean, is it even
No.
cold? I mean, seriously.
Okay that I have an alarm set for 8:30 tomorrow.
I'm sure you're gonna turn it off and go right back to sleep. So what's the matter? Set your alarm for whatever you want.
Hello.
Hello. How are you, Leah?
Aw, there's a cute.
You missed a spot.
Nails. Nails. Bed.
Those really cute.
Bed.
Butterfly wings. I gotta go get a mug, so I will be right back.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna lay down.
What are we doing? Are we ferrying?
We're doing
Are we waiting on Kag and Roland to finish up behind a tree?
God.
I'm here.
So, you go outside, and he's still there, leaning against the log, reading the book he was reading. He, aquatic-looking
Not reading it.
skin color. Oh, he's reading.
Leo comes and slaps the book out of his hand.
What are you doing?
He's got scales. He's got gills behind his ears that you can tell because it's messy bun leaves room for it. Looks, hanging out. Very hipster.
Do I recognize his race, or is it just Faye?
He definitely strikes you as Eldrin. Eldrin,
Okay.
is that the right one? Yeah, Eldrin.
Yeah.
Eldrin and not the Celadrin. I love Forgotten Realms Lord Scray. So yeah, he's definitely elvish-ish.
The more syllables you have in your name, the more powerful you are. It's the rule.
So you're 3 levels.
Yes.
We lost a Jackie.
I'm here.
Whoa.
Yeah, too.
She went to go get a cup.
Okay. So,
Does,
what?
Is that magical?
So I'm going to inquire for Roland's name because I don't know it.
Okay.
Bobby will tell you.
So you
But that's
come
not
over.
quite the same.
I'm sure he will tell you too. How do you introduce yourself in places?
This is Roland. This is Kaga and Leo and Jack. Fearless. And this is Rafferty.
So as you come over and Dobby introduces, and then she proceeds to go down the line and introduce everybody. He just keeps reading.
He's not even paying attention?
No, not really.
This whole wedding is horseshit. Alright. Is this...
Roland, my friend.
He holds up a finger. Just keeps reading.
Look, it's a really good story in his defense.
Can I see the book? Can I see it? Do I know what's on it?
You can move around and see it. He's not in any way trying to hide it, and it is the front or the inside.
The front and then the inside.
The front is blank, like nothing denoting on the front, and the inside is blank. After a few moments, he kind of gives a chuckle and shakes his head and closes and goes, "Sorry, it was a really good part."
I've been there. It's alright.
I so want to cast a spell magic on it.
Well, are you finished with your adventure then?
So, wait, you were just waiting here for us?
No, I actually did not expect anyone to be here.
So, why were you here again?
Because I was told to be.
That seems like a pretty terrible reason to be
It's
anywhere.
a really shitty job. But I mean, that's what happens when you piss off the Admiral, so here I am.
Ah.
How'd you piss off the Admiral?
I played with his toys.
What toys?
Oh, he totally banged someone. Don't worry about it right now.
Tell me.
I mean, she was a cute little strumpet. That's all I can say. It was worth it. It was worth it. But I mean, he doesn't like to share.
On the back. That's great.
He doesn't like to share.
Snail?
I appreciate it, but I think it's probably best if I keep my wits about me in case he shows up anytime soon. So,
That makes sense.
yeah.
What color is Rafferty's face right now?
What kind?
What color is Rafferty's face right now?
Pale. Just kind of like hanging out behind everybody else.
Alright.
Bobby will totally tell Roland to look her up and he'll have some ale with him.
We're gonna
Sure.
get on a
We
boat.
can have something else if you want.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a tough man, but he understands the way these things go. So I'm sure he'll get past it. He always does, you know.
Ah, yeah.
So, right. Well, pleasantly surprised. I guess you guys are looking to go back to the Autumn Court then.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So he looks out towards the water. He puts two fingers between his lips and gives a sharp whistle, and then just kind of rocks from his heels to his toes, waiting for a moment.
I'm in the carriage.
You guys climb on in, and Lee doesn't stop you. Seems to anticipate this move, and after a little bit of time, you actually see two dolphins that come swimming up a little bit of ways out. They stay far enough offshore where they have enough water, and he takes the two ropes that are attached to the front of the carriage and starts kind of like pushing it off the shore and kind of pulling and leading you guys out into the water. The dolphins are wearing harnesses. So he goes over and he kind of hooks them up, and the carriage is big enough to fit all of you guys. It's very ornately done, kind of like out of this like white wood and everything. And he kind of looks back at the shore and kind of leans in the carriage. He's like, "All right, you guys ready to go?"
Pretty cool.
Yeah, ready.
All right. And he kind of climbs up on the front as a rider would and takes the reins and gives a little bit of a click, and the dolphins start bobbing off. And the carriage bobs a little bit with them, not too much, and you guys start heading out straight across. He kind of leans back. So, where are you guys from?
From the prime material plane.
I gathered that much, yeah.
Well,
I don't remember the name of the place that I picked up for Bobby.
So,
On that map you showed us.
After all that discussion.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I think I was sick at the time, and so yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Are you enjoying your stay in the Feywild so far then?
Oh yeah.
no.
Mostly.
It's been great.
Yeah, that's fortunate.
From, but I wherever it is, I said I was from.
There's
Glad to get away from the Underdark.
The Underdark, what's that?
Kinda like your Phaedon. Worse.
That's a pretty heavy thing to say.
I mean, what's wrong with the Feywild?
I mean, they're the Fomorians.
That's it?
I mean, I haven't been there personally. I'm a sea elf. I just hear it's shitty, that's all I'm saying. Alright, well, good talk. He turns back around and just continues on with his business.
Tell me about the sea elves.
What do you want to know?
You know, what are your people like? Happy? Are they
I mean, you know.
shy? Are they...
Oh, I see. You want racist stereotypes.
Well, okay, yeah. That's good.
I guess it depends upon who you ask. I think we're among the more free people. Tend to be pretty clever. Keep a pretty good standing in the court. That's largely thanks to the admiral. But I think for the most part we get to do whatever we want. So I consider that to be a pretty big advantage. So long as the admiral approves. But you know, that's true for anywhere.
What part of the autumn court are you guys in?
We actually patrol the Diamond Sea.
Diamonds.
I should tell you that we do it on behalf of the Autumn Queen, but I mean, really we do it on behalf of the Winter Court, but, you know, technicalities.
Are you on the border or something? Or?
No, technically the Autumn Court is under the Winter Court, and the Autumn Queen would like for anyone within her area to answer to her first, and then her to the Winter Queen, so she can kind of keep in the favor, but, you know, there are those of us that realize that you don't really need a middleman. So.
Where is his book right now?
It's stuck. He took it and stuck it in a little pack that he's got. It's in the pack. He's sitting on the bench beside him.
So is he letting the dolphins kind of lead the way while he's talking, or is he still looking forward?
He keeps looking back forward. He is not, he doesn't appear overly, guarded with his pack.
Can I try to take the book out without him noticing?
You sure can. Gosh, what kind of a roll is that?
Sleight of hand?
Is that a roll? I am totally good at this. Let me see.
Sleight of hand is a roll.
Alright, let's roll a sleight of hand check.
Persuasion.
Because he's not looking?
Given that you're having to reach up to get it, if Davi,
Looking, it wouldn't be much of a sleight of hand.
so depending upon how you and Davi depends. If you see Jacobus kind of going to go for it, are you helping him out here? Are you kind of pulling his attention over to the other shoulder, or how does Davi react?
Does Dobby see it? I mean,
Does
Oh,
Dobby-
Davi sees it. Davi would see Jacobus kind of moving over, you know.
edging towards
Davi and her godlike passive perception. Shocking turn of events. Cog has a bowl of cereal.
Listen,
No.
what's wrong with that?
I want a bowl of cereal.
Thank you.
Dobby will shoot that Jackie a dirty look. Don't do that.
So,
Okay, so
He won't blow his cover.
Okay.
not helping though, but okay.
Yep.
She's not helping, but she's not blowing his cover.
I'll take it.
Oh my god!
You
wow.
Good God!
In fact, if you want, you get the whole pack.
Oh,
Yes, I do want.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
No, that's all he's got. He's not wearing a shirt or anything. He's just got his pack. Oh,
Doesn't have a pack now.
well, yeah, he had his pack. So. So,
So did
Okay.
Jackie try to take the book out of his bag?
I think he just took the whole bag.
I'm just gonna stuff the whole thing into my pack.
Wow.
Dobby will take a small little pouch of gold and she'll set it on the bench next to him. More
Okay.
than that pack is worth.
And he looks down and he kind of looks back at her and he's like, What's that for?
A tip for your service. This is really awesome.
He'll give you the
I
tip.
mean, it isn't. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you seem like nice enough people, but I'm here because I have to be.
I know you are. That doesn't mean that we don't appreciate you.
What do you want exactly?
I want to make friends. I help people.
You want to make friends?
You're somebody who travels and takes people from place to place. I'm a follower of the god of travel.
No, I'm somebody who screws other people's girlfriends and then ends up with crap duty.
You know, we all end up in the same place for different reasons. Here we are.
So, he kind of turns back around again and keeps going.
She's still gonna give him the pouch of gold unless he pays.
He just kind of looks at it. He doesn't take it. He's just, he seems very dubious about this exchange.
It'll be
Maybe a
real
little
awkward when he
confused
tries
by
putting this back.
it.
That's his problem.
All in all, the trip takes, like maybe about 30 minutes. The dolphins actually make pretty good speed. And as you guys go, you find that where's my map? Ba-ba-bum.
Just
Here
so
we go.
you know, Casta, I marked off 5 goals, which is probably more than he sees in a year.
Okay. As
Wow.
you begin to
Kind of judgy, don't you think?
I mean, it's
Considering,
the average wage
considering
is
nobody
pretty
uses
low.
gold, yes, probably more than I see in a year.
Yeah, well, he's gonna end up with a bunch of primal material plane money, but that's okay.
Look at these weird paperweights.
As you guys head over, you find that you're able to derive, that you were located over here, and the temple you were in was kind of in this mountain range north of the Autumn Court, and you can see that he's bringing you straight across this kind of lake-like body of water, and off in the distance you can see, that the buildings of the court proper starting to come out. The wood perimeter that you normally pass through doesn't extend along the coastline. It appears to kind of like cut off, where it hits the water, leaving, plenty of room to open port and head on in. It takes you guys, 30, 40 minutes at the speed of the dolphins, and takes you over when you finally get to the other edge. He hops out, kind of unhooks them and then pulls you up onto the shore so that you guys can all, make it out on the other side.
Yeah, make it out.
God, leave me alone.
I will hop off the bear.
Well, it was interesting meeting you guys.
Nice to meet you as well.
I didn't say nice, but maybe we'll bump into each other sometime. Hopefully not.
Wow, so rude. That's
Hey, I look forward to seeing you again. Take care.
All right.
Is my circle in the right place, Casta?
Can I move that? Let me see.
Yeah, that's my hope.
Yeah, right about here. There you go. Okay, so he heads back on over. Though you notice that instead of hooking up the dolphins again, he just grabs the ropes and just starts walking down into the water until he's fully submerged. And you guys
It lives
find
there.
yourselves on the edge of the Autumn Court. You head kind of southward, and you're already able to see the buildings and the like. And
Wait, what about the tree wall?
the what?
The tree wall.
I said yes. It doesn't. So where the city actually backs up onto the water, and where it is along the coast, there is not a tree wall there. The tree wall kind of comes around and encompasses it, but it does have an open border where the water is.
This is a tactical mistake.
Okay, well, you can take it up with the queen. So,
I say we head home.
Yeah.
okay.
We've got 300 books to dump out of the portable hole.
We can send word to the queen that we are back.
request an audience, I guess.
Yeah.
I suspect she knows we're back anyway.
We should probably go straight to her. Or at least,
Because I'd like to get
Well, I think we should probably, just out of respect, go and show our faces at the court. And if she isn't ready to receive us, she can tell us to, come back later. But being that she's funding this whole endeavor, we should probably report in.
We have any servants at the house or anything? Just
Who knows if we even have a house still?
Wait, what did you say, Greg?
We don't even know if we still have a house.
Oh, but before you left, you did have individuals who would come and deliver food every day. But as far as like working servants, people who like resided with you, you did not. I think at one point there was a discussion about not wanting people who could eavesdrop on your conversations. and you guys decided not to have servants live with you for the time.
We haven't improved much beyond that.
So.
drop by the auto clean's place and just basically tell them out front, hey, we're back. When she's
Okay.
ready to meet with us, let us know.
Okay.
And then head to the academy.
So you guys head on, and the council mansion is obviously lifted on these, large pillars and stuff, and you have the, very elaborate garden underneath with all the floating globules of sunlight. And the two guards guard the this stair that, kind of goes up and splits and curls upward into the mansion proper. And standing there are the two guards that are normally there, and then to a bench right by their side, you actually see this old shriveled figure that's kind of hunched over. She's wearing this very old worn robe. Her hair just hangs in like these really thick matted ropes across her shoulders and down her back. She's just kind of like crumpled up and just kind of appears almost as though she's kind of hunched, and I guess like her bones have maybe not been growing right for some time. She vaguely resembles a human, but the deformations that she has are just absolutely nightmarish. Her eyes are beady and unblinking. Her mouth is just stretched too wide, and it's laced with this wall of like small pointed teeth. All of her joints are kind of like too slender and knobbly, and she's got these long spiked nails that come off of her fingers.
But what does she smell like?
Here we go. Crap. She smells horrible. And she's actually leaned over, and at her feet she is petting this large, curled, red reptilian creature, almost as though it's her pet. And over to her left actually sits this young, looks kind of dwarvish male, though his skin is like kind of darker, almost like this bluish shade. And he appears to be like a teenager to you. He's got like a lot of acne all over him, and he's kind of like looking up against this bench and just like with this exasperated rolled eyes looking up at the ceiling, just sighing.
Does he have a Game Boy?
He does not have a Game Boy. He wishes his Game Boy has been taken away from him. And you could tell.
Does Dobby recognize this as a hag?
I think, I don't know. I know that I know that you guys have been told about hags given your previous interaction. I think it would be easy for her to derive given what you guys have discussed in the past. The guards, by the way, are more on edge than you're used to seeing. They have pikes kind of at the ready, and their eyes are on this creature at her feet.
You said it was reptilian?
Reptilian.
Do I know what the creature is?
You can roll an investigation check with advantage. Or I guess a perception check with advantage. Let me change that.
Perception.
Let's say I'm wondering if this is the egg.
I was gonna say,
Wait. What egg?
perception or nature?
Let's do nature.
Yeah.
Good call.
Just in terms of, yeah.
With advantage?
With advantage.
Yo, Breeza, can we have our dragon back?
Wait.
It's a dragon.
It's a baby dragon.
Is this my baby dragon?
Did you say that aloud?
No.
No, I didn't. I'm just like, I'm gonna sort of, and I'm gonna
Has the hag noticed us at all?
No. She's just
Dobby's gonna
petting.
walk up to her and say, "Well, hi, Breeza. It's nice to."
And the hag
Alright.
kind of.
Jacobus, I'm gonna need you to roll a sleight of hand check on a dragon.
Tilts her head and looks up at you. I don't believe we've met.
Oh, yes, we have.
You don't strike me as familiar, but you do have a forgetful face.
Well, that's a good thing. It's not gonna bother me. You're not gonna bother me. So, what brings you back to the Feywild?
What brings you to inquire about my business?
Because I'm really nosy.
Oh, you can take your nose elsewhere, dearie.
Wait, wasn't she hot
Oh,
once?
I could.
Carry on then, carry on.
But I'm not going. Nice dragon.
Oh, thank you. It's one that I'm quite proud of, actually.
Yeah, I imagine you are.
Where'd you get it?
Produced quite well.
Oh. The dwarven thing is a teenager, right?
Yes.
That cat is so pissed about being in here.
So let the cat out.
It is too far.
You know, the poor kid. Some mistakes you make, you learn to regret.
Let the cat out.
It's so much funnier
I
to watch him
cannot
struggle.
concentrate. Let the cat out of the room.
You have a real nice house, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I thought you were talking to Castine. I was like, what?
Well, you do have a nice house, Kagan, but
Well, you have a very nice house too. While we're at it.
Which one? Which one would you be referring to?
well, you know, you have a lot of interesting plants in the one we have. And I have to say, it was quite a lovely mirror, too. But,
Oh, that is a good mirror, yes.
yeah, it is.
Can I help you with something? Is there something that you need?
But, you know, there's some things in this world that I just really dislike.
Yes, me too.
I really don't like secrets.
Oh. I don't believe I
Don't like
tricked
being
you.
misled.
I believe that what I promised you was exactly what I delivered. I said I would take you out of the Underdark, and that's exactly what I did.
Wait a minute, I thought you didn't
so
know us.
dearie, you just screwed up because you lied to me when I walked in.
Oh,
you
I
acted
didn't
like
lie.
You were not Breeza, and you are Breeza, and I know.
Oh, don't be confused. I didn't lie. At first, I didn't remember you, but then again, how many gullible dwarfs and your lot do you think that we come across running around? I mean, don't get me wrong, quite a few in my time. Adventuring parties are kind of my thing, but yes, I do recall you now.
Is there the slightest bit of shadow that I can try to like meld into to like hide my embarrassment right
you can certainly roll a stealth check.
No,
Jacobus just inks himself and disappears.
I'm sure you have met great people.
What you don't realize is I did you a favor.
You know, you did me a favor. I sure as hell am glad you did me a favor.
So I have a question. I know some strange things have been going on here. What do you think has been happening on your side? You know, the prematerial plane.
I have a feeling it's pretty mirrored.
Oh, it's bad. Much worse. Much, much worse. And yet here you are. Everyone you know and love is probably dead, strung up, their entrails ripped out by demons. But look at you. You thrive. You go on. In fact, you might be the only one left to carry on your race.
You know.
Insight check.
Okay, roll an insight check.
Yeah. Can I do it too?
Sure.
What the fuck is going on?
Kai, she seems to be believing what she's saying. Davi, and she does. She seems committed to what she's saying. This idea that everyone may as well be dead on the other side. She seems to believe that.
You know,
You can definitely tell that she's trying to pick at you, but there doesn't appear to be any out and out lies.
most truths in this world are from a certain perspective. And I sure as hell don't trust your perspective.
Oh, well.
Girl. Get her.
Molly. Molly Weasley on her.
Well, that's certainly your right. I ask again, is there anything I can help you with? Did you have business here?
Oh yeah, we sure do. We're good friends with the Autumn. Thank you.
Oh,
You know, you did do us a good favor. I'll say thank you. We found a nice place here. And we're doing a good job here. And we're going to continue to do a good job. To put down people who try to undermine this world.
good. Continue to ride that wind as long as it blows in your favor.
We should like call ourselves like the Avengers or something.
I've learned that in my life, I ride the winds where they take me.
The Justice Academy.
And my God helps me find the right ones.
I hope he can hear you here.
Oh, he does, dear. He does. It's all.
Very well.
I hope you have a lovely day.
Academy
Turn around and
Titans.
walk off.
Davi, as you do notice that the Duragard child is kind of watching you like,
Mom, do you know these ladies?
Scared of this hag in least.
I am. Kaganos is going to be staring at the dragon. Just pissed.
and Breezy goes back to slowly stroking down its scales. The guards are just like watching this dragon.
Is Jacobus anywhere where I can see him? Has he slunk off? Oh, yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Alright. I need to talk to Jacobus later.
I mean, you could roll a perception check if you want, but you can, it's going to have to be a good one.
Is this UO rules where if I spot him, he becomes unrevealed?
No.
Are you casting detective?
I'm casting Detect Hidden on the floor. Fuck. Alright.
The dragon stirs. The two guards kind of startle a little, and they like start to get their pikes, and then they,
Fuck. Alright. Where are we going?
Well, you haven't talked to the guards yet.
Tell the guards. Davia walked over to the guards. Tell them.
You go over and you tell them. They actually ask you to wait for a moment. And they head on up. Presumably speak with the queen or whatever, and one of the guards actually comes back down. He's like, they're ready to see you. You see Breeza look up and over, and they hold out a hand to Breeza. Not you, them. He motions all of you to follow him up the stairs.
Davy will look over like the cat that ate the canary. Upstairs.
And you'll see her visibly roll her eyes and go back to just kind of dragging her claw nails down this dragon. So.
She threw me here, and by God, we're thriving.
So, you guys once again return to the meeting hall of the Autumn Court. It is less populated this time. Up at the front pedestal, you have the Autumn Queen sitting there. And then,
Dragon guy there?
yes, actually, Veles, the dragon guy, is there, as well as the Frost Prince and Renestray. But only those 3 seats are filled at the table.
So none of the good-looking ones are there.
Where's the French girl?
Gosh, what's her name? No, but no. The none of the Lord of Bats people are there. There are a lot of empty chairs.
Wait, you said Renestray was there?
Renestray, yes.
Yeah, Renestray's hot.
Renestray. God, guess the picture's open.
I need to visualize who I'm talking to.
So yes, Renestray is there.
Give the Autumn Queen some formal greeting or whatever.
And she
Poses is that for a dwarf?
looks tired, and she gives you this kind of strained little bit of a smile, and it doesn't, she doesn't look annoyed, just worn, thin, stressed. Welcome back. I pray you bring good news.
We bring news.
That's something.
So we went with I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. I know I should.
No, it's okay.
Thank you. To the fields, and there's a lot of ghosts. I suspect the veil's very thin there.
Yes, to our experience, it has been.
And we went under the tower. We found some interesting.
Wait. Did she know we were... No, sorry, go on.
Do what?
I don't know if she knew we were going to the tower.
Well, she knew we were going with Urine wherever Urine leads. So, found the tower there, and there was a lot of ghosts. It looks like that's where the defense was led in the past.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know what defense you're speaking of.
There was a rather large battle there. I don't know. I suspect it was maybe on the prime material plane,
Ah,
but obviously the ghosts are still tied into that battle. A lot of them are still fighting that battle.
I see. So prime material ghost of, are these your kin? How were you able to tell the origin of these ghosts?
No, there were some orcs, and the orcs I think aligned with the demons.
Well,
Ghost orcs.
No,
so there were ghost orcs and ghost elves and humans, but there were real orcs
Interesting.
there as well.
Interesting. And you went to a tower.
Yes, there's a tower there.
And
that was where the-
Banner's tower.
It was a mage's tower.
What was his name?
Inyarv.
Eniarv's tower.
Mm.
I suspect there's probably a lot of lore tied to that somewhere.
And she kind of looks at Renestray for a moment and then back to you guys.
But we went under the tower and went down inside of it, deep into the under area of it. And
Wait, as a mental lore check, do any of us know how, like, what the significance of the symbol on the secret door was?
I think you did talk about that with Jacobus.
yeah, we found out coming out, I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we not bringing that up on purpose?
I haven't got there. You bring it up. Feel free to jump in. I'm just
Okay.
jumping in because you guys are.
No, I'm just trying to help because it was a really long time ago, so I'm just trying to.
Yeah, and please, thank you.
Yeah.
I will
I mean,
forget something, and I might get it.
Let's just keep in mind that not telling stuff isn't the same as lying.
Let's keep.
I have
in
no
mind
idea what I
this
did.
is
I
Dobby,
s-
How do I
and
make
if
this
you
go
want
away?
her to, you better say something.
I guess I could just close it.
How did you do
So,
this?
I don't know. Sorry,
There's
Miss.
some orcus there, and there's a temple down there. Bad stuff. Got to mess with some of us, some of our heads, but we got out of it. And there was some library, and there was some other stuff down there, and we found a mirror. And I think this mirror is a key to something, but I'd really like to be able to show it to some folks at the Mage's Tower.
Certainly. That is certainly something we could complicate. So you're saying that somewhere within the swamp, someone had assembled a shrine to Orcus? A temple to Orcus?
Kind of seems like it.
That's most troubling.
When we left, it seemed like there was a good bit of ash or some other. Did we ever figure out what the material was?
Yes, you did determine it was bone meal.
Bone meal that was starting to fall and cover the swamp as we left.
For someone to erect a temple of Orcus would be such a betrayal to the court. I'm surprised that Yernan wasn't able to sense anything, any oaths that were broken. Where is Yernan?
He is in the Feydark as far as we know.
He stayed back
we
with.
made our way back when we got out. We made our way back to Feywild. He helped us get there to try to get back quickly,
I see.
and he helped us to get our way back quickly. But he had to stay behind, so he'll assume he'll be catching up.
Understandable. His business is his own. Matters I should not be inquiring into, as it were. All right. Well, then I will send word to the Wild Hunt to see if any of them know who could have erected such a thing. Given that there was a temple, then were you able to determine how these demonic creatures are passing into the Feywild? How they're coming in such numbers?
So here's the deal. When we were coming back, some of us, we got to go down into some tunnels within the Feydark.
Mm-hmm.
And there are hordes of elementals and demons down there. Were they elementals? Sorry if I'm
They're undead. Undead, and there's some ghoulish stuff happening as well.
And
Yeah,
she
kinda-
cuts you.
Lean
She cuts
over
you
to
off at
Leo
that.
and be like, do we let them just make shit up? Or should we?
So, when we came
I
back,
mean, I'm not saying it.
I
the
mean,
gentleman that
Don't
brought
correct
us
me.
back
But-
actually tried to erase our memories, and he got some of our companions here, and they don't remember it. But Earlith and I remember it.
She looks to run astray.
I'm gonna have a super dubious look on my face. Like,
She
Lord
looks.
Leon. I'm gonna go ahead and just give his name.
She looks to Rena straight at that and goes, "Have we heard anything from Lord Dion since Elodie left?" And she's gonna be like, "No, we haven't. You know, I mean, this meeting was on such short notice, and no, I haven't heard anything from him." It's like,
I suspect he didn't want it to get out that the Feydark is having this demon issue, but they are, just like we are here.
well, that is most enlightening. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Certainly. He sent us to do a mission, and we're going to try to accomplish it the best we can.
Are you suggesting then that you believe that the demons could be coming from that as the source?
I don't know. There was a lot of them. I don't know if they're just suffering the same thing that we are. I won't swear that they're the source, but I suspect that they are having at least similar issues.
and that's how the Queen nuked the Feydark. Great job, Dobby.
Hey, you don't want the truth told, don't ask me to tell it.
And then you say that the swamp, that there was bone meal accumulation. Can you tell me more about that, please?
It was like ash. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been after a volcano erupts.
Hmm.
You get that ash everywhere, except it was bone.
A remaining character and not be. Have you been nearby when a volcano erupts?
I assume it's probably
We're from
No,
the
it's-
Howlers.
I've probably been in a volcano and erupts.
She looks at the Frost Prince at that and goes, "That would explain the dark spots." And he just kind of nods and they carry on. She's like, the orcs, then, have you been able to derive what involvement they might have with all of this? I believe you said that they appeared to maybe be working alongside the demons, or did you say they were combating them? You mentioned the ghosts.
I think in the past they might have been. I'm not so sure in the future. The ones we met that were actually ended up helping us a little bit. So I
Interesting.
kind of think they maybe regret it, but I can't speak to their motivations very clearly.
It seems that we still have quite a number of questions we need to answer, though you have certainly brought us more advanced questions. We appear to be making progress. One more though, do we have any inclination as to what they might want, what they might be doing here, searching for, either the demons or the orcs?
will tell you this. There's a lady sitting outside. She is a bitch. I'm sorry. She's a hag.
You can only mean Breeza.
Yes. She's the reason that we're here.
She is certainly an acquired taste.
She is. And she is not one I have acquired. I'll be honest with you. But she said something about the Primaterial Plane.
Did she?
It makes me wonder if things are being mirrored there and here. She claims it's worse, but who knows? I don't trust her. I don't trust what she says. Without seeing it, I don't know.
She is often very choice in the information that she's willing to disclose. Though,
She is.
given the nature of our realms, I find it to be, I would be surprised if the conditions of them were not mirrored in some manner. You're certainly not fond of her, I see.
Oh no, not at all. But I will say, we made a deal, and she kept her end of the deal.
Well, as she must.
And for that, I give her the credit. But that creature she has,
The dragon.
be warned, it's dangerous.
The dragons were cast from the Feywild eons ago for a reason, and she showed up at our doorstep asking for an exception. But believe me, once I have some patience to speak with her, that is a matter that will be dealt with swiftly.
If for some reason something should happen with her, the dwarven child that she has,
Mm.
even if he isn't, can't think of the name of it.
Durgar?
The dark elf.
Yep.
or
Durgar.
Durgar.
Even if he is a Durgar, the only thing I ask is, I'd like to take custody of him to return him to his parents.
Sorry. Felix's face.
And if
And Durgar.
if anything happens to Breeza, I would like to claim responsibility and custody of the dragon.
No!
I feel like
I knew that was coming, but
I-
I left it for you there.
I have a part and bond to this creature, and I feel like it's only right that I be there for it in its time of need.
She says to you in Sylvan Cog, "What charming fools the half-bloods make."
And I'm going to grin as wide as I possibly can.
Oh, I did need a laugh. I do appreciate that. Very well, I have no patience for Breeza right now, but let her sit, let her wait. She has not earned my audience. I appreciate the information you have brought. You spoke of a mirror and having it examined by the Mage Tower. That is certainly something that we can accommodate. Given the work that you have done, I would also like to offer you a favor of the court. I will give you time to think of it, of what you feel we might be able to do or provide, be it through our services or the Mage Tower, a favor, what have you, that can aid you either in your personal dealings or otherwise on your quest to determining what is occurring. We, as I said, find ourselves with ever-growing questions, though hopefully on the path to finding those answers. There are a number of things that have transpired since you were gone that I think might interest you to know. She gestures to the Frost Prince and she goes, "Please, if you could fill them in on what we were discussing before they arrived." And the Frost Prince bows his head lightly to her and turns to look at you with the same kind of somber, unenthused demeanor that he always seems to have. He says, "When you were leaving, we sent the Treants to the north to try to determine what was going up there after hearing about a number of works, and we have lost contact, all contact. The villagers who continue to travel down say that they are still there, they are still roaming, but they are reckless and wild and wrecking farmlands and towns and toppling trees and acting quite unnatural. They don't respond. They appear to be out of their senses. Something Something has gone awry, and to what end, I'm not sure. And just as he goes to speak, you actually hear down from the bottom of the stairs shouting. Like somebody is just like, it's a male voice this time, and he's like, starts yelling out, I know you can hear me! You know that I'm down here! And you see the queen, and she kind of, tilts her head for a moment, and she's like, confused, and one of the guards comes up and kind of shuffles over towards her throne and leans in and starts whispering to her, and she braces a hand on her forehead and she's like, fine, let him in. He heads back downstairs, and up comes this human.
Human.
He appears to be
Ain't very many of those.
even in your party. His large scar across his face.
Wait, is there a picture?
Yeah, I showed it to players, didn't I? Did I not? I didn't show it to players. I apologize. Sure, that's true. That's true. So, here's a scar across his cheek. He's fairly well dressed, middle class, his clothes are a little shabby though, a little dirty. And he just kind of comes like stalking up the stairs, heavy-footed, wearing boots. He stands at the foot, his shoulders a little slunched, and he looks up with this kind of a bit of a scowl, and he's like, it's fucking hard to get into this place. You'd think they wanted to separate themselves from the common people and their worries or something, like they didn't want to hear what we have to say. And the queen just kind of takes a moment, goes, hello, Harris. Welcome back. He's like, I wish I could say it was a pleasure to be here, but as I'm sure you know, I only come out of necessity. We're in the middle of something, as you can see. Please make it quick. I hear that you feel that there is some distressing news that you should share. I came to inform you that Rodin is dead. He has been Rodin. He says Rodin. I'll type it. And she gives a little laugh. Oh, you say he is. Pity that they got to him instead of you. He just kind of brushes off that statement. The orcs came in a large number, slayed him, ripped out his intestines, strung up his corpse by them. They're going through the countryside. We haven't heard from the Sprite Queen in over a month. We keep asking for assistance from the court, and we're not hearing anything. Nobody understands what's going on. The queen goes, even if what you say is true and Rodin is dead, and things are as dire as you say, no one sends a dog to deliver a message, Harris. What are you doing here? Everything is in shambles. I'm the only one that's left, You have to do something. You need to tell the people what's going on. And she sits back in her throne. She's like, you can't show up here presuming to tell me what I should do. Is there anything else that you have to say, or are we finished? He throws his hands in the air and he's like, whatever. I knew it was worthless to come. And he just marches back down the stairs. Queen kind of takes a moment. I apologize for that outburst. Very well. As the Frost Prince was saying, the Treants to the north have not been responding. You say that there is some sort of trouble occurring in the Underdark. We have not heard from Rodin or the Sprite Queen. This is true. To what ends, we're not sure. Though I will say we have also not heard from the Admiral, though that is less unusual, unfortunately.
Your Majesty,
Yes.
where's the Sprite Queen located?
In the Winter Court.
And which direction is that? Is
That
west of the other Treants, or-
towards the west. The Treants are to the north. The Sprite Queen is to the west. The Admiral is towards the northeast in the Diamond Sea. As it is very clear, we are pulled in too many directions at the moment, and beset on all sides, and I'm not sure where we should go for answers.
I would suggest maybe, if it pleases you, maybe we would go check out the works in this case, since they had a tie to what we saw before.
Very well. If that is what you feel is wisest, then if you would like to head north to the Treants, then I will see what we can muster. Someone to appease Harris and head to the Winter Court if the Winter Queen has not already done so. See who else perhaps we can send to check up on Lord Dion and see if there is anything amiss that perhaps he has chosen to omit by failing to attend our councils.
If
I
I'm
thought you said the orcs were to the west.
The orcs are to the north of the Treants.
Oh, okay.
if I'm
I think she was talking about the ones that Harris was talking
Harris was
about.
talking about.
Oh. If that is where you'd like to go, then yes, very well. We can send someone else to the north to the Treants. They have been, the orcs, to my understanding from the villagers who keep pouring in, are all across the countryside. But if Harris is to be believed, and I must caution you, how do I say this kindly? Harris is a human. They are prone to perhaps theatrics, precisely. Falsehoods. I have found that while the Winter Queen permits them in her court, they are not the most reliable resources of information.
I'm like half offended right now.
I kind of think if maybe we head west, we can check that out a little bit, and then
Very
we
well.
could head towards the north and head towards the Treants. And that might be our path.
Yeah, if that is what you would wish. I certainly would encourage you first, if you wish to meet with the Mage Tower. I can have them send someone over either when they're ready, or if you would wish them to come to the academy to examine your items. How would you like to proceed? If you would like, I can send them over to the Mage Tower now.
I think a lot may depend on what we discover about this mirror from the Mage Tower. There may be something else that this leads us to that's more pressing than any of
Let us
these
head to
options.
the Mage Tower, because there may be other items that we'd like to ask them for.
Certainly.
Yeah, and there may be something that is necessary. Yeah, we need to find out what this is all about first before we go anywhere.
Phalar, to my understanding, should be in. He actually did respond to my call for counsel and has been working quite diligently and thus was excused. But if you would like to head over there, then by all means, please, I will. If he is in any way, if they are in any way not compliant with assisting you, then please let me know, and I will make sure that they know that you come in my grace.
No problem. I'm sure that we won't have any problems at all.
Well,
Before we go, what are the dark spots we were
Oh yeah, that's right.
how to explain this? The ruler of each court has a certain connection with the land. Just as we resemble our courts resemble us. We are able to manipulate the season, the weather, the topography. The area down near the swamp has been growing dark, though beyond my vision. In truth, as has the forested area north where the Treants are located. Less so there, but it's as though there's a pinprick to begin with that is slowly spreading and taking the landscape from my view.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
That's concerning.
That sounds pretty daggum bad.
Yep.
At
Not
this,
what
the
you
Frost Prince actually speaks up and says, That's one way of putting it. To my knowledge, nothing like this has ever occurred before, so I personally find it quite alarming.
I'm not surprised that you do. I would be alarmed as well if I was used to being able to see and feel everything, and then suddenly places were now not available. Can I ask you one more question?
Certainly.
When we returned from the Fate Arc, we arrived at a temple,
Mm-hmm.
but it appeared that temple was neglected across the lake.
Yes, that is. Some time ago, there were Celadrin who, to my understanding, there was a horrendous betrayal of Corlon and everything he stands for. Those who betrayed him were disgraced, their names forbidden, written out of our histories, and that temple was constructed before their fall. At first, there was an attempt to adapt it, to make it still palatable, but given time, it was ultimately abandoned, and the majority of the priesthood was moved to the Winter Court. A new temple was constructed in the absence of their shrines. And there are still those who venture there now and again as it is closer, especially among the lower classes, to pay their respects. But for the most part, it is a sore upon the collective memory, should we say. And while it would be disgraceful to topple the shrines of the other gods, we are at somewhat of an impasse to just let it fade from memory as much as we can.
Is it impolite to discuss the figures that were removed?
In common conversation, I would say so. If you are interested in that history, I would recommend taking up the conversation with one of the priests. They are the only ones, in the interest of, what is the saying? Not allowing the past to repeat itself. They are allowed to speak the names and share the history of what brought our people to this point.
I think we might need to talk to a priest. Is there somebody like that around here that we talk to?
Yes, there's a temple erected here, she said.
No, she said in the Winter Court.
Oh, I thought it was in this court.
No, for the most part, they reside in the Winter Court. They do travel. To my knowledge, there isn't anyone in the court currently, though, but I'm not sure if you have been outside the court proper, but we are currently flooding with refugees. Much of the farmland has been converted to wagons and tents, and individuals seeking some sort of solace away from the orcish bands and the demons that have begun to roam the countryside.
Hopefully we can reach out to these orcs. If what we saw before was the case, then it might be that we can just hold their convince them not to side with these demons.
Well, there must certainly be someone that is allowing them through. And if Yernan was unable to sense anyone who had broken an oath for the autumn or winter court, then my suggestion would be that it is likely someone in the spring or summer that has aligned with them in some way, and perhaps allowing passage, for most likely seeking to topple us, perhaps weaken us from the inside before bringing a full assault and attempting to take over all four courts.
See what we can find out for you.
I appreciate that. Is there anything else we can do for you at the time, then?
I know that you mentioned, she mentioned anything that we might need for helping in our next path. Is there anything that you're needing at the moment that you know of?
A red dragon.
Nobody
I don't
needs
think
that
there's anything
cactus.
other than what we've been.
Very well. Well, when you do decide what you would like to, what favor you would like to collect, please either come and, request to see me again, or tell the guards, send a message, whatever is most convenient for you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your kindness. We appreciate it. And we're happy to help any way we can. Okay. I guess the mage tower, right? So we are excused. Yep. Fucking no barking.
All right. So you guys head out down the stairs, and hanging out on the other side, you've got the bench over here with Charming Breza, and on the other side, you have Harris, whose arms are crossed, and he watches you all come down the stairs. And Cog, as you come down, he looks at you, and he shoots out an arm and grabs your arm and goes,
I punch him in the face.
Really?
What? No.
Really?
Fucking scared me. You fucking just grab people.
Listen. You're not PTSD Cog. You're
okay.
He reaches out and grabs your arms and goes, are they holding you hostage? Blink twice. You don't have to say a word.
Okay. I'm gonna slowly pat his hand and be like, I'm alright, man. This is a safe place.
And he gives a bit of a chuckle.
We asked to help you first. It's okay.
He gives a bit of a chuckle. And he kind of like slaps you on the back and crosses his arms. He's like, so, this is interesting. It's not often that I run into, kinsmen. I mean, kinsmen of a sort on this plane.
It does beg the question of how the hell you ended up here.
Really, that's your lead. How did you end up here?
Well, I asked first, didn't I?
Oh, well, that is a good point. Well, I was brought here as a mercy after acquiring my curse.
Curse.
Lycanthropy.
I'm gonna kind of. I was looking him over for like skin falling off or.
No, he seems super forthcoming about it.
That's hilarious because, Cag is
Don't bite me. I don't
has contracted some lycanthropy as well.
I sweat into my eye.
Do you-
Wait, Irlith doesn't know that.
Do you
does
see-
she?
I don't know if your knows that. Yeah, I guess not.
Did Dobby tell me?
No, Dobby did not tell us so.
Okay, well,
The
I mean,
only
but I think
people
it's
who
funny
know that
how
are
the
Dobby
character-
And he actually looks at you, Cog, and goes, I thought that's why you were here too.
I look very confused.
Whatever. Anyway, why are you here?
Happy accident?
Happy?
Nobody comes here by accident, and nobody comes here by happy.
So still?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna-
it's not.
Dobby will point and say, we're here because of that bitch.
No.
Well, we were in dire straits and made a deal that we didn't fully understand.
Well,
But here we are, and honestly, we're in a better place now than we were when we left. So I suppose we both received a mercy.
Hold on. I can see you haven't been here long. You think you're in a better place now than you were when you left, but I mean, we'll let time correct that assumption.
I mean, where we were,
You know,
I mean, we were stranded in the Underdark, and
Well, that was pretty shitty.
yeah, I will take most things over the Underdark.
I don't know that I would take the company of the court, but you know what? You've gotten in with some powerful people. That's a good place to start. Just make sure that you don't piss them off.
No, we've done
we're
well
gonna do
so
our best
far,
not to.
but you don't seem to have any fear of not pissing people off.
She's not my queen.
Is that how that works?
She really likes to think a lot of herself, but I mean, at the end of the day, she has to answer to the Winter Court. It's a weird political system. They're all up in arms about it. I don't know. They like to make fun of the human system, but this place is this. I don't want anything to do with it. What I'm concerned about,
Queen, why are you going to her?
because she had called in Roden and he hadn't come. It goes back to that complicated political system thing. So here's the way it works. Anybody on this side of the river answers to the Winter Court. The Winter Queen doesn't like to be bothered too much, doesn't see people. I went there once. The whole place is pretty empty and barren. It's weird and depressing. But she kind of like shoulders off all of the work onto whoever she chooses to roll beneath her, which is the individual sitting on the Autumn Throne, the Autumn Queen. Everybody else here is honestly, to a degree, not everybody, but there are certain other individuals who are of comparable power, should we say. And they are constantly really trying to vie for the favor of the Winter Queen. But really, if you want to get anything done, unfortunately, you do have to go through the Autumn Queen. She's a bit of a bitch. But I mean, what are you gonna do? Here I am. I've got ends that I need to meet. I've got loyalty to Roden. So here I am.
Could I get a picture still?
Sure, insight check. He doesn't appear to be outright dishonest, but he's biased. Like he is choice with his words.
Who is Roden?
Roden is was the head of the Lothari.
The what?
The Lothari. Oh my God, you guys have not been here long. What do you know? I'm sorry. It's been a really shitty day. I'm sorry. That one's on me. Okay, so like any points?
Wait, can I'm gonna.
Yes.
We're all just.
Dragon Lady.
We're just standing out in front of this place. Why don't, since we have asked to help you first,
Right.
we have to go to the Mage Tower. Why don't you come with us instead of us hovering out here in front of the hag and the dragon and the guards and all of this stuff?
I mean, okay.
I just feel like standing here is not the best place for this
Fine.
discussion
Sure.
at all.
Wherever you want to go.
So let's go and
Listen.
Some of us don't believe in closed door RP.
and I'll say, speak your mind. You don't
Oh,
want your
I
mind.
always do. Believe me.
Well, good.
Right. Well, I'll follow your lead then.
Um,
Yes.
so Breeze is still there.
Breeze is still there.
Is she paying attention to us?
Roll a perception check.
I mean, just seeing that she's looking at us.
Yes, she is.
Is she being obvious about it?
No, her eyes are on the dragon. She's continuing to pet him, but she is, anytime the Duragar, tries to talk to her, she's like, shh.
Yeah,
How big is the dragon?
Oh, let me look it up. Dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum.
In football field, please.
Yes.
I should have looked this up beforehand. I should have known you were gonna want to know this.
I really am shocked that
Well,
you did.
you
Right.
brought back my dragon arc, so
Can I just tell you it's a young dragon? Can we just say?
wait, it's a young dragon?
I believe
Oh,
so.
that motherfucker's
Let me double check
huge.
my
Is
time.
that like horse-sized?
It's like 10, like 10 years old?
But no, well, the Durga child is now not
So-
anymore.
By Forgotten Realms lore, it would be called a very young dragon, but doesn't give me a size. I mean, it's big. It's laying at her feet, but it is larger than like a Great Dane. You know, like it's
Larger than
pretty
a Great
big.
Dane.
I think horse. Shut up, guy. You're not gonna play with me anymore.
How many Great Danes is it?
Let's say horse size. Let's go with like horse size.
Okay, so
This is not a freshly hatched dragon.
yeah, so Young red is a large dragon, so it's the size of my bear.
Okay, let's go with bear size.
So what you're saying is I can't pick it up and run off with it.
I'm saying you can't pick it up and run off with it.
What she's saying.
But I could ride it out of there.
So,
Yeah, it was inclined to let you ride it.
You can be eaten by it, yes.
I'm campaigning for that personally. At this point,
Is the
this obsession with dragons is crazy.
It's my dragon.
It's not your dragon. Dragons can't be owned for all that she thinks she owns.
Okay,
that
so we're
dragon.
heading off towards the mages.
yes.
Dobby will give your side of this, or
Well,
this thing.
actually, I have another question about that. I mean,
Okay.
perhaps somebody should take Harris to the academy. Let's sort of gather our wits, and then some people take the item that we wanted
Didn't you
to
just
have.
literally tell him to follow you to the mage town?
Well, I was thinking about that as well. I mean,
By the way, don't follow us to the mage town.
Okay, just stand here awkwardly after we invited you somewhere.
Oh, okay, fine, come on.
Earless was trying to do the power move. I'll take him to the academy.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking, is that maybe Harris would not like to cool his heels while we talk at the Mage Academy. Maybe he would like to, go to the academy, get something to eat and drink, and maybe some rest.
Can I
because-
suggest that we all go back to the academy, clean up just a little bit before we go to the mage tower?
That is fair. There's no rush on it right now. We can always go in a couple hours.
You guys are, let's go here. Scroll up in the notes. Let's go here. Scroll down the notes.
So
So.
we're gonna go to the academy.
That's fine.
Get
That's
Okay.
totally
settled
fine.
into a room.
And then move us back. Okay. So, you guys head on over to the academy. And when you go and open the door, you are immediately hit with this thick, sickly stench of rot and decay.
Oh, why?
Yes.
Oh wait, you have your actual mansion? I forgot about that. Oh wait, that's the autumn mansion. Hold on, which one is it? There's the academy.
That's my mansion.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Okay.
I feel like we need to upgrade to like.
Is there a stand?
There's a stench of rot and decay. So you kind of, start using your nose and kind of, poking around, trying to figure out where it's coming from. And you
Leave the skeleton on
Fuck.
and you make your way over to the banquet hall, and you find the table is covered in piles upon piles and layers of uneaten, decaying food.
Who did this? Who left this here?
They deliver it every day. We didn't tell them not to deliver it.
They don't clean it?
We need some servants here, okay? We need
Oh, God.
people.
We
Is there
do
food
need-
from today on the table?
Yes.
Gross.
I will take a bite of something good.
So there's plenty. There's, turkey legs and fruit. And I mean, it's got a pretty undecayed layer under it, it definitely gets worse as you go down in the crab cake. So,
Can you press the digitation?
Do I look like the aide?
Yes.
Press the digitation.
I'm a prestidigitate myself to my room.
We do need to look into hiring somebody to.
Yes, we need to hire some people.
Wait, do we have nowhere to bathe in this place?
I mean, we'll pretend you
We have
do.
a bathing room in the
There's
top
definitely a tub
floor.
upstairs.
Yes.
That looks like a carpet.
So,
It's a tub
as you guys lead in, Harris is like,
and a toilet. I mean, it's like a
nice
tub.
place. Nice place.
Thank
No, okay, look, it is a nice place, except we just kind of forgot.
We forgot to turn off the Uber Eats. It's
I
fine.
mean,
Dobby will
listen.
start cleaning up.
It's the Feywild. Something always goes the fuck wrong. You get used to it.
There was nobody like outside the doors we came in or anything.
There's nobody what?
There was nobody like around or.
Like
Leo comes back out, sticks his head out the door, and shouts at anybody he sees.
Help! Fire!
oh.
She will talk Leo's ear off until he comes to help.
What am I helping with? Carry your own shit.
Come help clean this shit up.
Why am I the only one helping?
No.
We also forgot that Leo was 15 years old.
Spots off your rotten food. Do you want the spots off your rotten food?
Well, that's a start.
No.
So, God, you were.
No.
Were you looking outside for? Because I mean, there's nobody like hanging outside the door. Were you looking outside for somebody to?
Yeah, like, is there. I don't know if we have like a servant on standby who's been
No.
pissed that he's been standing
You
there.
don't have any servants.
I'm pretty sure we had guards sitting outside at some point.
No.
I think those are more to keep us in than anything
Yeah,
else.
but they're still there.
There are no guards posted outside currently. Unfortunately. But God, because you look outside, there are a number of people just like walking by in the street. But I mean, they all appear, upper class, upper crust.
Okay. So everything looks kind of like how we left it.
Yeah. Aside from the rotting food, everything looks entirely untouched.
Great. Alright.
We didn't hire any servants.
So I'm gonna start. Where do we have like a? Okay. I'm gonna start taking plates of food and shoving it into the fireplace.
And Dobby's gonna start cleaning.
That will certainly smell better.
Hot garbage is always better than regular garbage.
Harris is like, I mean, I'd help, but you know.
I know dumpster fires you smell.
It's different because it's not in a dumpster. I promise. It's fine.
Oh,
What happened to
this,
Ronan?
but I have to make a little trip to the roller coaster.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a quick bio break pause?
It is 11:30.
Are you saying we quit good?
I mean,
Guy says I'm tired. Let's do a quick bio break, and then we'll answer some pending questions, and then we'll
okay.
cut. Okay. All right. Be right back.
I'm tired.
Why are you tired? Oh my goodness. Take pictures of this. Their dog is bigger than I thought. I thought they were getting a smaller dog.
I can only see it.
Not as big as your dogs.
No, probably not.
That picture of that video of Elijah and Asher is so stinking cute. Aunt Mel was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, they really love their leather, which is good. I'm sure they'll get sick of him eventually.
Well, maybe not, because he's so much more of a baby than the rest of them. So maybe he'll always kind of be.
Yeah, it's possible. Like him and Jude are totally bro. He just gets so excited when Jude, which is funny because Jude's not like that with.
Hello, Casta.
Hey. Oh, you had me muted?
Yeah.
Oh. Well. That was rude.
That was
Yeah, it was.
super rude. "100% approve of this. Hot cinnamon spice, Harney and Sons, loose tea, so good."
Sponsored by.
I mean, it is so good. It has orange peel, cinnamon cloves.
She's legitimately advertising for them.
I'm not advertising for anybody. I'm telling Cass about it.
Those sound good. Cinnamon and orange is a really good combination.
Said no one ever.
Yeah, and no, really, and
Some tea.
it's got enough heat that it's really it's gonna be fantastic for fall and winter tea drinking.
It's almost like pumpkin spice, but gross.
No, pumpkin spice is a no. Oh my god, I do not understand. I don't understand why this is occurring. I opened Instagram and
Yeah, I
one
wonder
of
when
the
that occurred.
one of the Instagrammers I follow has decided to post a very hoish picture.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hoes are an integral part of the internet.
I know, but
I'm pretty sure.
I was
Maybe the
not
judge of
expecting to see
Paste
that.
it.
Alright, you need to share it. We need to, as a consensus, decide whether this is a hoe's picture or if Leah's just approved.
Okay. You asked for it.
Anticipate. Wait, it's a dude!
Told you it was.
Alright, first of all, this isn't a hoe's picture. This is in bad taste. Because, like, it's like the dick pic. Nobody wants to see that shit. Less. People want to see.
Sure thing he's taking a picture of. Does he have a hot purple?
No,
Uh,
it's light.
Are you talking about his taint?
Philips Hue. He's got the Philips Hue light bulb. Anyway, as a YouTuber I follow, but
Who the fuck takes a picture of their taint?
he's wearing underwear, so there's no picture of anybody's taint. And since he's gay,
I think I made Tab quit life.
Anyway, it was not what I was expecting when I opened the Instagrams, let me tell you.
That's not what anyone's expecting.
I know, I was going to post my little nail polish picture and then I am met with that.
Did you post, like, hashtag less taint, please?
There's a comment here that says your crotch is beautifully emphasized.
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Honey, we have something to tell you. We didn't want it to be like this.
I'm just...
But Tab and I have come a long way.
Cag wanted to see it. Oh, somebody took it away. Here, did Honey not get to see it?
Did somebody eye bleach the channel?
Did somebody what?
Somebody deleted my link.
I didn't do it.
Tab did.
I
Either
did
that or
not. I would never.
So...
well, it wasn't.
That's not a red dragon. Also, Is this supposed to be some weird How to Train Your Dragon fanfic? Where they have like arm.
So, after some time, you guys get the table all cleaned up.
I'm certainly no help.
Leo went up to his room to kind of like drop off his stuff. Anybody else?
I would love to go through this backpack.
Okay. So,
Go check on our temple.
okay. Nadavi, you go check on your temple. Everything's fine. Jacobus, you start going through the backpack. And you do find that book. You also find a few provisions, like some jerky and this, that, and the other. A water skin, another skin that has some rum in it. It's a pretty small pack, and there actually is not much beyond that there. It almost strikes you as like a pack that maybe somebody like put together real quick and just kind of like threw it in, like almost like moored on like an island, kind of like tossed out. Like it's almost surprisingly scarce.
I'm going to eat the jerky and drink the rum while I inspect the book.
Okay. So you start flipping through the book, and it's blank. It is just blank.
Like, there's nothing magical about this book.
You can roll an Arcana check. So you do notice, as you flip through it, that you open up the front cover, and very small, right along like where the front cover meets the pages, there do appear to be like a number of runes that have been etched in. You not having a whole lot of magical training yourself, you're not really sure what they do or what they mean, but there does appear to be a magical element to this book.
Where's Leo?
In his room, prestidigitating apples.
I'm going to go bang on his door.
Okay.
Leo has this portable hole in the floor and he's kind of laying on the side, pulling books.
Hopefully not falling in.
Yes. What?
I'm going to shove the book at him. Make it work.
You seem to have a fundamental misunderstanding about how books work.
Can you not read? Do you want me to teach you?
The book appears there's that to point out it's magical.
Oh. I'll read it.
Okay. So you go to look at it and start trying to flip through. Are you reading the runes, or are you attempting to read the book?
I'll read the book and see if I can understand anything about the runes.
Okay. So as you start to flip through the book, it's blank. It's just blank. It's weird and blank. As you start to look over, you go back to where Jacob is pointing out the runes. Make an Arcana check for me. So, you have encountered things like this before, and it strikes you as a kind of like a transfiguration kind of thing. It appears that the wielder has some ability to kind of like force their will upon the object and make what they would like appear. It appears limited, like it's not like, okay, well, I want a book about unicorns, and then suddenly there's a book about unicorns. It appears that there are like, maybe like 5 or 6 options, but it's almost like, this like old school Kindle kind of thing, like it's got a number of books that are written into this, and whoever is, like using it is able to determine which they're reading.
Can I tell what books are in there?
You can tell that there is one that appears to be, they don't have like descriptions of what they are, but there do appear to be 6 different ones that are available, and you can tell that, you are able to choose between them, but it would take experimentation to figure out what each of those are.
Can I make one up here?
Okay. Pick a number 1 through 6.
4.
It's filled with nudes. Like, it appears to be a very like
Male or female?
Important question to ask
It's-
first. How much taint is there?
It's definitely a very romance novel kind of thing. The photos are gratuitous and graphic, but there is a story element to it, just kind of flipping through, or at least so you assume, because there are a number.
I'm gonna have to study this further.
There are a
I'll be
number
in my
of
bunk.
paragraphs. So
All right, I'll leave the book with him, and I'll go throw everything else in the fireplace.
okay. So.
If I do like 2, is it still smut?
2 is not smut. 2, flipping through, I mean, you kind of give a brief glance. So it appears to just be like this fictional story, nothing skimming through that strikes you as particularly helpful, frankly, not even that well written.
I'm gonna power skim all of them to see if there's anything that's remotely interesting.
You start to power through. You come across one that's like a kind of like a very boring travel novel kind of thing of like the best foods in the autumn court, and if you venture out, blah 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 blah. But it's nothing overly interesting. At 6, you do come across another smut. This one is has significantly more illustrations than number 4. But all of them appear to be like, one's got like really crappy poetry, it doesn't strike you as a any kind of like secretive or useful thing beyond entertainment, you.
I'll leave it on the most juicy one and go over to James and throw it back in his room. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So, Eurolith, at any point do you head up to your room? It's not a loaded question.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Okay.
And just because I want to go up, I want to change clothes.
Okay.
Repack whatever little pack I may have with
Oh my gosh. Sorry. I got distracted by the jumping dog.
a couple of fresh sets of clothes, because Earless is a little bit of she's a little particular, and it's a little grimy now, so yeah, she'll do that.
So as you head up, Eurolith, you actually see on your bedside table there is a vial. Where are my items?
Is this a vial that I recognize, or this is a vial I do not recognize? AKA a vial I did not leave.
This is a vial you did not leave.
And being a meticulous person that I am, I would have noticed this.
You go and there is the vial that's sitting there on your otherwise clean table. There is a stack of coins beside it, about 5 coins. And there is also a tag that is attached to the vial. And the tag reads, "Ask a question, take a sip. Only 3, enjoy the trip." And it's signed by an avid supporter.
Like Respin. No, not Respin. Krieg.
The goat guy. Fine. I'm going to sort of look at it without touching it.
Okay.
Can I tell what kind of coins they are?
They are prime material plain coins.
Is there anything written on the coins? I mean, are they?
Roll an investigation check.
I mean, like, whose coins are they? Like, are they dwarven coins, or elvish coins, or dragonkin coins? Investigation, you said?
Yes. So you look them over, and they are coins from the prime material surface. they're one of the more generic currencies that's just used throughout the kingdoms. You aren't able to determine a whole lot about where they might be from
And there's
or
so
who.
what language is the note in?
Common.
And it looks like this picture.
Yes. The base of it is surrounded by a almost like reptilian looking mouth.
Can we all take a moment? I'm sorry. Do you see what this cat is doing?
No.
Yeah, he stopped. He stopped as soon as I pointed him out.
Imagine that.
Sorry.
I don't know. Maybe opening the box? I don't know.
He was like, he pulled the box out from the shelf and like is trying to get something out of it.
He probably wants to be in it because it's the voice
Yep,
craft
there he goes.
box.
They're just doing it again.
You're so good. He's trying to you and that cat, man.
He may be trying to get in, but he's being a...
Anyway, so, potion.
So it's reptilian in nature. Can I
Yes.
tell what kind of creature these teeth and fangs came from?
Roll a nature check.
I think Honey's mic is off.
How did
You don't know.
can I?
Cat now has a
Because
whole
it's reptilian, can I roll with advantage?
It's not something you're familiar with, unfortunately.
Come on. I am a reptile, literally. I should be able to have advantage on reptilian nature stuff.
It has instructions. Just follow them.
You know what? You tell me all you know about monkey.
Because I'm not going to follow the instructions because there are only 3, so I am going to take that to mean that I can only use it 3 times. Is that accurate? Or do I take 3 sips? No, it says take a sip, only 3. So I can only do this 3 times. I'm gonna... And if I go and I touch the coins and move them, I can't tell anything else about them, right?
You move them, you look them over. I mean, it's weird seeing prime material coins here, you know, because you haven't really encountered any currency, but
They're tiny mimics.
I'm gonna tuck the little vial and the note and the coins in my pack with my stuff and just leave it there. I'll take it with me when we go.
okay.
I'm interested in that though.
So you guys hang out and
Yeah,
do
let me
stuff.
add that to I'm gonna add that to my
Paris hangs out downstairs eating a fresh turkey leg, letting you do your business.
I'm going to ask Paris how.
I wasn't there to see it myself, something I'm grateful for since I was fond of him, but the Lothari tend to move as a pact, I guess you could say. They're he's like tearing something up. Stop your weird cat.
It's just a bookcase.
Anyway. My understanding is that they were out on a hunt and encountered a... Would you kick out the cat?
He's gone.
He's a freaking spaz.
He's my favorite.
I know he's your favorite. Like, you deserve each other.
He's my spirit animal.
Black line across the screen.
So they were out on a hunt once, and he and his pack, and they encountered a smaller group of orcs. Strange, they had never seen anything like them before, and they quickly recognized them though from our stories, and quickly just killed them all. And some days later, they encountered a larger pack, and this time were not victorious. I'm told that he was made an example of. He was tortured extensively and flayed and then hung from a tree by his own entrails. He was a good man, especially where Fae are concerned, and I am willing to die to ensure that his life is avenged. So.
What are Lithari?
They're like the other Eladrin here. They're my understanding of it, and I mean it's all secondhand to me because for one, I'm kind of a second-class citizen here, and on top of that, I'm human. That's not part of my history or anything, but apparently the Eladrin are like a little different from elves. They there was a time when they could shift forms a lot, and at a certain point they kind of became more bound to the way that they're looking. Some of the more powerful ones can still shift some, but you kind of ended up with like these clans, to my understanding of these different kinds of elves. You've got some that are live in the sea. You've got some that are, I don't know, like trees or some shit. I don't know. But anyway, the Lithari are wolves. They're very bestial. They say that lycanthropy comes from magical manipulation of this gift from their god, kind of this like bastardization of whatever it is they have. So, I mean, for some, especially in the spring and summer courts, I'm told I am an abomination, as is anybody else with lycanthropy. But the winter and autumn courts see it more as like a divine blessing given to the otherwise like disgraced human races. I guess some chance at redemption for shitbags like me who now have the grace of their god. So they've made a place for us in this society. They are the true shapeshifters, I guess you could say, and we're the imitators.
Who is the god of Lithari?
Pub quiz.
I know this. Hold on.
Kag is going to be sitting somewhere nearby listening to all this. Because I assume they're in the common room.
Wait, what? Yeah, they are.
Unless Jacobus is taking him upstairs.
No, we're definitely sharing turkey legs at the table.
Okay.
Arms linked.
Okay, here we go. Here we go with that Forgotten Realms lore. Finn.
I'm gonna wander back down after I've cleaned up and what I found.
Finn Morel Mistrain.
I'm sorry, could you say that like 3 times slower?
Why did I have that?
That almost sounds yucky.
Hold on. Why do I have that? Mistrain may not be right. Ignore the Mistrain part. Finn Morel. What is Mistrain? Yeah.
That's his last name.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay. Anyway, Finn Morel is the god that they follow.
Does Jacobus recognize that?
No, not immediately. He,
Does Dobby recognize it?
Does Kag recognize it?
They were in the common room.
They're in the common room.
What about Kag's pet spider?
What?
Would Leah recognize
It's definitely a lesser elven deity. Not one of the big ones. Depending upon anybody's familiarity with the elven pantheon, you may know something about him, but he's not one of the popular ones, so to speak. So. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna send your cat to a new home. Get the cat.
You take it back.
He's freaking messing with the door again. Yes!
He's trying to open the door.
Okay, hold on. Go.
She doesn't like the cat because I like the cat.
I love the cat.
Exactly. He's very
just driving
lovable.
me crazy right now.
He's the best cat.
He's a really good cat.
I love
He loves the
How Casta begged, pleaded,
Dude.
and carried on about a cat for years.
and the cat likes Cog.
The cat hangs out with me all the
Oh
time.
my gosh. He tells you good morning every morning. When it's time to wake up, the cat will like hop up and he kind of like lays on Cog's chest. It's dumb. Like it's like he's freaking familiar. Anyway.
Precious used to do that to Kenny in Japan. She would, every morning, 1 minute before his alarm would go off, she would jump on his chest and start purring in his face.
Yep.
He may as well have just stopped with the alarm clock.
That's exactly what goes down.
It is like clockwork. So, there's a bunch of people around, so I think Cog's just going to be pensive. I think if there's an opportunity to talk to
Oh my god, I'm a part of the dog.
Pets are the best.
to talk to what the fuck's this dude's name?
Harris.
Off to the side, he would take advantage of that, but there's a lot of people around it right now, so.
Okay. So, following.
Honey laugh snorted.
You know, the thing is that I've got this feeling that Tab actually really loves this dog, but he would never admit it. Like, I have a feeling that Tab 100% in love, head over heels with the dog.
He talks to him sometimes. It's like, why?
I hate the dog. I hate the dog.
We were just discussing this the other day.
He sits there and whine at me. I see what he wants. He just sits there and stares at me.
He wants you to pick him up and love on him.
And feed him by hand.
He wants me to throw him out the window. Is what he wants. Don't encourage him. I'll sell you too.
Oh, bless it.
Question: who controls the swamp?
Controls the swamp. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's Autumn territory.
Is there, even if it's autumn territory, is there a people there that worship a god?
I mean, I know there are goblins there, which is kind of weird to me. I don't know anything about how they got to be here. But I mean, not that I know of. I mean, nothing. Nothing that comes to mind. Is there anything else you can offer me? Like what you're trying to.
I'm starting to have a bit of a theory about all of the areas that the orcs are currently coming through, and it's related to gods, and I can't figure out what exactly connects them together.
Care to share?
Well, I mean, the leader of the Lithari was just killed, and they worship this Fenmorel. The Feydark obviously have certain connection to the Underdark and presumably the mirror of Arashi or whatever, I think was connected to the Underdark in some way. I remember something about the orcs retrieving it from the Underdark.
Okay.
And so I'm starting to think gods to random events.
Interesting. Okay, I see where you're going with that.
I mean, so when it comes to stuff like that, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be a great resource. I mean, like, I've been here for a while, I guess. Time's kind of fucked up, but I mean, I'm obviously human, and I'm frankly just kind of glad to be here and not at the end of some lynch mob in the prime material plane. So, I've been granted my life, and so I'm kind of, I was kind of in servitude to Rodin in a way, not all like depressing like that sounds. I owed the guy. He was a good guy. It wasn't bad to owe him, but Rodin's, he was pretty, he wasn't like archfey kind of powerful or anything, but he was, he had influence, so I don't know. I have a hard time believing it was accident that they showed up and started like messing around in his territory. And maybe that's just me being defensive. Maybe that's just me being human and like anticipating what would happen where we're from. But I don't know. I know the queen's pretty flippant about it, but I don't think she realizes how bad things are getting out there. And I'm frankly just kind of pissed off that she's over here hanging out in her court and not really giving this the attention it deserves.
Where are you going from here?
Well, I guess I'm going back home to kick as many asses as I can on my way down because somebody has to do something.
I wonder if we should be going north with Harris first. Or wait, no, he was not.
He's going west.
Harris is west.
Is there a difference between the Sprite Queen and the Winter Queen?
Yeah. Yes. To your understanding.
The Sprite Queen was to the west. Harris was complaining about her.
Yes. Harris mentioned both Rodin and the Sprite Queen.
So many people.
Does the Sprite Queen answer to the Autumn Queen?
No, she answers to the Winter Queen.
All right. Well.
Fearless is just going to kind of listen to everything and sort of soak it in, because I'll have wandered down by now.
And the queen said we could ask for a favor from the court or the mage tower. Is that what she was saying before we left?
Yes.
I think we save kind of sit on it. Might be something we need at some point. It's always good to have favors owed.
No.
It's better to owe favors than owing them, for sure.
Yeah. It'd be interesting in knowing what the
Mage Tower.
constraints of that are.
So, do we all want to go to the Mage Tower, or?
I think we might as well.
Yeah, I figured.
Hey,
Okay.
I don't I don't want to be rude or overstep, but can I ask you guys one thing?
What's that?
Sure.
Kind of gestures to Jacob as he goes, why the fuck are you wearing a crown?
You know, that's a really damn good question.
We have come to accept Jacob as how he is.
Listen.
I was
we
just
don't
curious.
question his life choices.
I've seen weirder shit here.
It seems pretty obvious that I wear a crown because I'm the king.
Okay, if you say so. The world may have changed a good bit. Tiefling king, thought by it. I don't care, man.
Not obvious. I'll try to take it from her.
Listen,
Wait a minute.
everybody's got their
So,
thing.
is Jacobus in like his customary cloak and everything? Would this guy would he have been able to easily tell what Jackie is?
He's got a tail.
He's yeah. I think
Yeah.
they've been hanging out in the room for a while.
And he's like blue, isn't he?
I think he's red, isn't he?
He's red, yeah.
Yeah. So either he's like super sunburned,
obvious that you're listening.
Yeah.
But I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was so obvious that Jackie was secret.
I focused on the cloak color, I think.
That's what it was. Well, listen, it's no secret that I'm not a fan of the court, or frankly, most Fae, if we're being really forward about it. But I am gonna have to be heading back soon to do what I can for my people, and if you guys are heading that way too, I will do whatever I can to assist people who are actually trying to fix this shit instead of just sitting around talking about it. But if not, and you've got other places to go, I mean, like, I totally get that. Like, maybe attacking it from another side, you guys will figure something out. But I don't know.
I think that our idea was to go with you to start, but we do have to go by the Mage Tower first.
All right.
For sure. Do we want to? Does somebody want to send a message or leave a note for our friendly food deliverers that they don't need to deliver if we're not here?
Yeah, I'm sure we can handle that. I don't imagine we're gonna leave in the next day.
Well, I think that Harris is kind of saying that he has other places to be.
I mean,
That he would like to move on.
I can wait a day. If it isn't too much trouble, I would request if you. I mean, well, you know what? No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll figure something out.
What's that?
Taverns and the like aren't too fond of my kind, if you know what I mean. But I mean,
Oh, you're welcome to stay. You're welcome to stay
Fine,
here.
just about. Yeah.
Wait,
I
don't we have a
appreciate
guest room?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, there's a guest room, so you can certainly stay. That's not a problem.
I
Yep.
appreciate that.
I mean, is he gonna turn into a wolf in the middle of the night and try to eat
Is
us?
it a full?
Do you ask him?
Yeah, I'll ask him that.
he's been very forthcoming about his condition.
And he kind of
so-
snickers, he goes, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but the moon doesn't exactly come out in the Feywild. That's one of the advantages of being here.
Oh, yeah. So does that mean you never change, or do you just are you able to control it?
I change in the Winter Court. That's why. I mean, it's not as overpowering here as it is the Prime Material Plane. There, I don't know what it is about it, but it's not. It's manageable. I don't lose my my wits, as it were, but I'm constantly shifted in the Winter Court. He looks over at Cog. Why haven't you told them this shit?
I think we need to talk a little bit later,
Yeah.
privately.
Oh.
Whatever. Anyway, no, I'm not gonna go crazy or anything. I can't shift here if I want to. So I'm just me.
Dobby will be over there glued to Chris. I want to know. Look, has something else happened?
Not so far as I know.
Okay. I think we need to talk to this guy.
Yeah, I'm a little curious as to what he sees that I don't.
Do I notice anything out of the ordinary going on in their little corner? And did I pick up on that?
I mean, Harris was very bombastic about his question, and you do see Davi and Kai talking,
Can I insight check them?
Sure. I mean, yeah.
What do we roll as
Well,
a contestant?
Yeah, roll, I mean, I don't
Could
know
be a
that you
perception
can,
check,
yeah, I
right?
think it would be a perception check, not an insight check.
Okay, I'm gonna do a perception check.
What is it opposed against? Let's see. Can I oppose it
They're
with
just
call
talking.
lightning?
I mean, Kai and Davi have kind of a weird relationship. There does appear to be a little bit of tension to it, but I mean, you know how much they piss each other off? Like, you know, they may just be bickering. So,
We do bicker a lot.
like, it's so hard to tell with them. They're hot, and they're cold, they're hot, and they're cold. Like,
We're just always hot.
That's Kag's perception.
so,
Low key expecting Davi and Kag to be the couple of the party there. Oh my god. Could you imagine?
oh. since he blew his chance with Cog and Cog. So.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm going to be. Yeah. So. I mean, I'm just going to be. I'm gonna, like, why would he tell us anything about that? I'm going to ask her.
About what?
About, this whole lycanthropy thing. I mean, I haven't ever met anybody with lycanthropy before. So, but why would he have told us?
And he just kind of looks at you. It does like a visible side eye. He's like, and then he looks at you again, and he's like, I'm not sure if you're fucking with me or not.
I'm gonna just raise my brows. Does he ever make eye contact with Cog?
I mean, it depends. Does Cog make eye contact with him? Because he's seriously like...
He's making eye contact, and Cog is like giving the eyeballs of we need to talk later.
So he looks at Cog. Hold on. Let me roll. And it's...
Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright.
How dense is this guy? He's pretty fucking dense.
How about... Jesus.
Love it so much.
I don't know if you guys are fucking with me or not. I'm tired. I don't... Listen.
Look, why don't you get some rest? We're gonna run over to the Mage's Tower. When we get back, Cag and I'll find you. We'll chat.
Yeah.
Catch up.
Yeah, it's been a long couple weeks. So yeah, I think I'll do that. Thank you. I do appreciate a safe place to rest. So he heads back over and starts, picking up what food is still good at the table. So, and since it's midnight, I guess next week we'll figure out what you guys learned in the Mage Tower.
Hey, we got out of this closet.
You got out of the
Right?
closet.
We got out of several closets.
Right? You went through several doors. 500 XP for everybody.
The points don't matter.
Shh, totally matters. What are you looking up?
I'm looking up new pictures for Felix's character.
Oh my gosh.
That has a crown.
Yes, actually it does. It has a fire crown.
I'm like Garrus, the character. He is quite a lot of fun.
I like how you're linking multiple pictures of the same character, guy.
Cog's really into Hellboy.
I mean, who doesn't like Hellboy? And before the who the hell is Hellboy, you all need to educate yourselves.
It's the person in the pictures.
This is how I imagine Jacob is waking up in the morning.
Pretty close.
Oh my god. OMG. He starts looking like, how does the hood ever cover those horns?
He puts it on just up to the horns, underneath the crown.
It tents over his head.
Wow. This is...
He actually has a tarp that just like super stretchy.
I see.
Feel like kind of racist.
Just a little.
Lululemon made this like really nice like horn stretchy hood material. It's fine.
Did you just say Lululemon?
Yes.
Wow. Why does he know what Lululemon is?
Really?
I don't know.
Do you not know what my previous career was?
Your friends' wives trying to sell you things?
Also that, but no. Fitness culture.
Oh.
I swear. That's accurate.
This was fun.
It was. We didn't kill anything, and it was really fun. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know which one my room is, so I'm just taking one.
The big one. I like how you took the big one.
They're all big.
Is this one?
My room is. No! Listen,
But
I am in one of the rooms with a fireplace. Where's my token? I'm gonna go to my room.
I mean, Rafferty doesn't live here, so you guys can just...
aw, Rafferty.
Wait, Rafferty doesn't live here?
I'm
He
just kidding, because
does.
Rafferty doesn't. Rafferty's never here.
Hey! Get out of my room!
Out of my room.
That's my room! That is my room!
Where's Leo?
You live in
Ooh, I like that one, Felix.
Holy shit, where'd you get that
That's
one from?
awesome!
Jackie, remember you live in the basement.
There's
by
no
the
crown
secret
there.
entrance.
But I don't see my basement.
Yeah, I don't know where your
Is it
basement
not
is.
there?
We need to update our...
Yeah, I think I may have to update
Manor.
the thing.
Get out of my room! Why is Jackie in my room? Get out!
I think the answer to that would be obvious.
Well, now where's Leo go?
Jackie sleeps in the tub. Jackie sleeps in the basement usually.
I don't know. Did we ever have a basement here? I don't remember seeing a basement.
No, Felix was still working on it. I don't think he ever finished it.
Yeah, I don't think I had it added to the map.
That's okay, we're never home.
True. I mean, we're gonna spend the night and then we're gonna leave.
You just giving her a battle map for burning down our house later.
Hey Leo, you should copy that.
Copy what?
The script.
Cut out.
Tiny huts.
Yes.
Any materials for it?
Leo's too busy trying to make a ladder out of chairs so he can climb down into the hole and get the books out.
Okay, I got cast off for next turn. I'm
Yes.
gonna be going through all the books in the hole. I expect a full list of titles.
Alphabetized.
You
Yeah, I'm
said on
playing
the
for
sheet
too
there's
much.
200 books in there, so
Author, time they were written,
yes.
historical context.
You know that one. Just the auto sleeve synopsis is thing. Why are we looking up other houses? Are we moving?
I have no idea.
That has enough rooms.
The house that you have is perfect.
Why would we look at another house?
Kag is being infidelitous with houses.
We just need one more bedroom
There's a
upstairs.
staircase in there. Where's the other picture?
No, we don't need another bedroom upstairs because
Jackie's
these-
downstairs.
some of these rooms have 2 beds in them.
I'm pretty sure Keiko's supposed to sleep in the swamp area in the middle.
Yeah,
I actually think that doesn't sound familiar.
How many people are in our party? 1, 2,
6.
6 of us. And there's 1,
5 and a half.
4, 5 rooms, and then 2 guest rooms. But yeah, that's right. Kag said he was gonna stay in the atrium since he didn't sleep.
I think everybody sleeps.
Rafferty doesn't sleep.
Rafferty doesn't sleep. He
Alright.
meditates.
He waits.
That's his little meditation room on the first floor to the left there.
Alright. I'm really tired.
Yeah, me too.
No, I'm more tired.
Guys, thank you.
Alright.
This is awesome. I'm sorry I'm dead. I would show more excitement, but I have no life.
I would like to thank everybody for deciding on a place to go so I don't have to prep 4 zones next week. So thank you.
But wait, we can change our mind.
Found a picture of Keiko.
The boat will catch on fire.
We are not going to change our mind because that would be rude to Casta. I mean, we're gonna go to the Mage Tower, and unless we find out something inside there which she controls, then we'll be going the direction we said.
Nope, I'm
Do
going
they
somewhere
make
different.
Keiko wear that sign at work?
I don't listen. People
They
come
should.
and ask me for fucking help, and it drives me nuts.
No, okay. So he has been super behind at work. So he was like, okay, so there's apparently this one lab that you have to have like a super clearance for, and you need to know the code for. So he was like, only, dude. Yes. So he was like, only Jeff and I know the password to get in. So we're gonna go hide in this lab and finally get work done. Well, apparently that was not true. And there was this other chick that was in there, and he was like, she was like an energy vampire. She just kept talking to me. He's like, he's trying to work, and then he's like, so finally she like went to go get coffee, and he's like, I'm like making eyes with Jeff across the lab, like, you know. So he just, you know, he can't go anywhere.
You ever meet those people that like, they talk a lot but they're not saying anything? Fuck. Like, it was just a constant string of buzzwords, and not a goddamn thing was useful information.
So anyway, he needs that sign.
Poor Kag.
Yep, we'll all shed a silent tear for Cog and his introvert issues.
Let's have a moment of silence.
That's just going to become pirates in our full little boat.
Yes. Yeah, joke's on us, it doesn't come with oars.
Just side job to a whole pirate campaign.
I figured it'd be like a really big one of those paper boats with like a paper sail. And
When can I turn into a water creature?
I don't
can turn into a
know.
water
Google
creature
it.
now.
What do I look like, the DM?
Yeah. Sure.
When does he turn into a werewolf?
Whoa, hey, spoilers. I didn't even know I was still a werewolf, so this is kind of jarring for me.
full moon.
I love that so much. I'm like,
I thought I was cured. Now I'm uncomfortable.
Wercow!
oh, that's amazing.
I'm excited.
Turns into a werecat. Tries casting a
Wow. So level 4, I can turn into something with a swim speed. So I can just turn into a magic fey dolphin and pull the boat. Since now I've seen dolphins.
That's true. You have seen dolphins.
So the boat is either going to be 10 feet by 4 feet by 2 feet deep, with a pair of oars and anchor mast with sail, or it can be a ship that's 24 feet long, 8 feet wide, 6 feet deep. I'd love to see you.
In which case?
Both. Any and all.
Can I name him Flipper?
Absolutely.
Has Keg ever seen a whale?
I don't think so.
No, I was
yeah, you were
landlocked.
landlocked.
Someday we just need to take Kag on a tour.
Yes.